Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
He's proud of it.
Hold on.
Hello and good morning. Happy Hump Day to you.
Happy Hump Day to you.
Feel free to get close to that microphone, and we're just going to be regular
Up close.
yapping right here. I don't know if you've met my friend Sam before. You've not been on my show.
I mean, a long time ago.
Like
with
at the
Mike.
very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Mike for when we were first opening up the Family Kung Fu and Wellness Center.
Yeah.
Like it was more like in the idea stages.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's a thing.
And now it's a big thing.
And yeah, we're a little bit late this morning. I had a coffee networking event this morning. It was like a joint one with CCYP,
That sounds fun.
Cape Cod Young Professionals, which has like 1,200 members. So the Mashpee Chamber, we're solidly at 320 members. Very exciting. Our biggest ever, by the way.
You're doing so good, by the way.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
super excited. Every single time I see you doing something new or something's going on with the chamber, I'm like, Steph's doing so good, you guys.
I really appreciate that. And I love having you guys as members because you're also doing, right? We're making this really cool place for Mashpee and our residents to come no matter where you are. Like that qualification barrier is gone. So it's just nice to be able to participate when you can, where you can, and how you can. And so, yeah, talk to me about the center, which is now Kung Fu Center and Wellness.
Yeah, the Family Kung Fu and Wellness Center. We've done a little bit of rebranding in the last few months.
Yep.
We've gotten some new signage. Just trying to revamp the energy, trying to put everything out there to draw new members in, especially since we've been adding new classes.
Yeah.
And it's really, the Kung Fu is a huge part of it. But that's also goes into the philosophy of Kung Fu is everything. It's that practice, that dedication, like every movement you make, can intentionally be connected back to Kung Fu, wellness, ancient Chinese philosophy. So that's pretty cool. But so it's much more than Kung Fu, though. We've got the Tai Chi, we've got Reiki practitioners, we've got yoga, we've got arts and crafts.
You're like, we got it all.
Yeah.
What do you say to the people that say you can't be all of the things? I disagree. I think
Right.
it's just a good center. That's why you originally were the center for all of the
Right.
things,
Yeah.
right?
And we just added a bunch of new recovery classes
Excellent.
that are free to anyone in recovery. And I like that our definition of recovery is so broad also. That was one of the things that I was really drawn to when we were creating these classes and courses and workshops, was that everyone's in recovery from something
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the time. It's, injury, illness, grief, trauma, and a lot of those things are gateways to like substance use and substance use recovery. Like a lot of that starts with mental health and emotional well-being.
Yeah. And it's definitely something that we're finally addressing, having the conversation out loud. It's not in the shadows anymore,
Right.
which is really nice.
Yeah, that is really nice.
And it's also like you don't have to share with everyone all of the time all of your traumas.
Right.
You could just be around people that are going through something.
Exactly.
You don't have to identify it all the time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, it's hard enough just to get yourself somewhere. And you're doing such amazing work over there. And I don't know how you're finding time for yourself, but you are.
Yeah.
And in your creative endeavors, you're always such a creative human being.
I have to always be doing something like with my hands, or like I'm not good at just sitting still, even when I'm like watching a movie, or I always have to be making something or doing something.
You crack me up. I really enjoyed, there was a post fairly recently sharing with people your ADHD and like the levels of which you were like, I thought about this and then I made that. And all of a sudden I'm making this and I'm halfway
Yeah.
through this. And
Right.
the whole process just made me very much laugh. I had a Me Too moment with you.
It's like that if you give a mouse a cookie, that's me with anything that I need to do.
I love it. What's up, Leah? Thanks for joining us this morning. So Sam is part of you've been working with Frank for a long time,
Yes.
but the band is Allison Reid.
Yes.
I spelled it wrong. It's REED, like the music read.
Yes.
Is that where the name came from?
No. So Allison is my middle name.
Okay.
And Reid is Frankie's middle name.
Okay.
So instead of just being like Sam and Frank, I thought Allison Reid had a good ring to it. It sounds like, like
Do
a
you
band.
it does, but I know a person named Allison Reid,
Oh,
and she lives
cool.
in Falmouth.
Oh,
So
no. She should come sing with us.
it's like,
There you go.
this is perfect. And so I knew you sang. I've seen you pop up at karaoke every once in a while. Like we did it for our friend Chris's
Yeah.
birthday, and like you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
But when I sat and I actually listened to some of the tunes on your new album that you just put out, you guys are really good.
Thank you.
And I shouldn't be surprised or what. I was actually just impressed given what you have for tools. And it's not like you've got a professional music studio. It's not like you went to Soundstage Music Studio and had it professionally mixed and mastered, but you both, which it would, but the sound of what you've got is very,
it's homemade.
Yeah,
it's homegrown, homemade.
I think it's better than that.
It's us.
Yeah. But it's a time period piece almost. I very much enjoyed the genre. I love what you did. You've got a Christmas tune on there.
Yeah. So this is our first, we've, put out some small albums and singles here and there. This is our first full album where we wrote all of the songs. There's no covers.
Yep.
And so I do all the lyrics and Frankie does all the music. And it just works really well like that. I can come up with lyrics sometimes like really fast, really quickly.
It's impressive.
So I love rhyming. So some of the songs, I had written a couple of them like a long time ago and they've just been sitting around. And I'd spent years, trying to reach out to people and say, oh, I have these words, I've got all these poems and things that I want to turn into songs. And it just never really clicked with anyone. People would be like, oh, yeah, I could take a look. And then nothing really happened with it.
Yeah.
But I sit down with Frankie and he can, just after 5-10 minutes, we're in this rhythm where he's creating these melodies that sound really good. And I'm really excited about it. And the Christmas song that we have on this album is kind of funny. It's it's a song that I wrote from Frankie's perspective because he's been a professional musician forever. He's been on the road on tour with, a bunch of different bands that he's had over the years. He's been on the radio. He's put out a ton of albums. So a lot of the lyrics in that Christmas song are references to his other songs and albums.
Yep, I love it.
And so I thought that was kind of cute.
He's a talented old goat.
Yeah.
Also happens to be the father of my sister-in-law. It's such a small world here on the Cape.
Very small.
I know. But I had no idea that you guys were gigging out and doing stuff. So you've got a Christmas concert coming up.
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of concerts. So we've got, now that our album is out,
and it's good.
We want to do an album release party officially at the center in Mashpee.
Love it.
And so that's going to be on the 19th. And so we're going to be selling I brought you to show you a fun little thing that I did.
I love it. Is that a mixtape?
It is. So this is our album on a mixtape, but it's not a regular mixtape. I made these all by hand. It's actually a USB.
How cool is that? This is the second most creative USB I've seen in a really long time.
So we've got
love that.
A limited number of these that we'll be selling at the show, but it's available, on iTunes, Spotify, and we will also be selling copies of our Christmas album that we did last year. The album is an ornament that you can hang on your tree. And it's another USB in a cork in a little bottle that I decorated.
Very fun.
So I got really obsessed with releasing things on USBs.
Well, you know what? I really like that. Nobody really listens to any sort of non-digital media anymore. It's really difficult to even find a way to connect with people on that
space. I
space.
Get a CD player in my car anymore.
Right?
What do I do with my big book of CDs?
I know.
Giant case.
Mine are on a rack in the garage and I can't bear to part with them. Yet they probably, I don't have a device to play them on currently. So.
Yep.
This is the problem that we have. Thank you for joining us this morning, Kathy. Bree, hello. Oh, she just dropped your album right there so you can listen to it.
Thank you.
Look at that. Friends helping friends. The album is really good and I definitely suggest that you give a listen to it. And it's just it's put together very smart and I was very impressed. And I'm very excited that you're going to be able to sing and hear Sam live in person at the Mashpee Christmas Parade. It is happening on Saturday. It's going to be chilly, bundled up. However, it is so joyful. It's the only nighttime parade in New England.
It's so cool.
And it really is. It's the season of Illumination Parade. This year, our theme is Coastal Cheer.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Because all I heard was cardboard. We're doing, then I heard sand was involved.
Yeah, I was brainstorming, and before I had checked the, like the website, I was thinking like, like a cozy living room setup.
Yep.
'Cause I'm going to be in the back of a pickup truck.
Yep.
So I was like, maybe I can put like a little chair and some blankets and like a floor lamp with LEDs in it. But then I saw that it was Coastal Cheer, and I went, oh, scratch that, throw everything out.
We're going under the sea.
So I've got, I have a deep love of cardboard. And building everything that I possibly can.
Well, good. There's plenty of it in the world right now.
So I'm building a very large sandcastle.
Love it.
And I'm going to incorporate real sand along the bottom to make it look more realistic.
You're so creative.
And I've been cutting out sheets of foam into sea creatures and seashells to decorate the sides of the truck. And now I'm just figuring out my lighting situation. Because it is a nighttime parade, so that gives you all sorts of cool options for glow in the dark or LEDs,
epic,
like that.
Amazing,
Christmas lights.
Yes,
so I'm very excited.
The creativity knows no bounds with Sam. You're always working on something, whether it's cooking, baking, writing, creating. Yes. Do your kids have the same love?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to hang out with them. They're my absolute best friends because they're right now they're 8 and 9, and it's just hanging out with them is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Because they share a lot of the same interests that I do with arts and crafts and just, dress up and being silly and exploring and nature. And so it works really well with that dynamic. They're really into cooking. They're really good cooks too.
Nice.
They're, they love to be chefs. Like Anthony made a menu last night while we were cooking dinner.
Okay.
For everyone to choose from. And we're always creating new things. That's the most fun part about cooking is you can just sort of experiment and come up with things that are new. And Bella's been getting really good at using the hot glue gun. So she's very into
Watch
that
out,
right
world.
now. We've been gluing everything to everything.
I don't know. Let's glue it.
Yeah.
It's perfect time to have a parade float being built. I love this.
Yes.
Get them with the glue gun. Let's do this.
Exactly. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun being creative with them. And it's nice that, I live with and take care of my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that got me into the art and the recycle art that she did. And that's just been my whole life and my whole philosophy. So I'm really grateful that they're also growing up in that same house that I grew up in when I was little.
Yeah.
With my grandma doing all this art stuff just like I did. So that's really special to me, and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Sam. I mean, you just never know until you sit and talk with people. You can see them on social media and think you're interacting with them, but when you don't have a conversation in person, this is why I love this show. And you made me laugh when you walked in this morning. You're like, I would love to have designed a job where I could just have and come and hang out with my friends and make that my work.
It's absolutely genius. When your friends want to hang out with you, but you're working, all you got to do is schedule some radio time.
Make it part of your everyday existence. And this is something that we love to do at Lemonadio. So if you've got some creative project that you're working on and you're doing it kind of in a vacuum and you want to share it out in the world, please schedule a time to come on. And I'm really glad that you're here today. Not only are you working on the album and you've got this fabulous creative juices going and working at the center, but you're also finding time to write.
Yes. Yeah. When I'm not doing things with my hands, I'm always taking notes from, my thoughts that are running a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so a few years ago, I had come out with a children's book called The Green Island. And that's bedtime stories that I was telling my kids based off of, there was like a nightlight turtle that had green stars that projected on the ceiling. And so they would ask me, she was like, why are the stars green? And I was like, no, because they come from an island where everything's green. Stars are green, trees are green, the water's green.
See, she's quick.
Everything's green on that island where the turtle comes from. So it was all these stories about my kids and their cousins and these adventures they would go on that had to do with, persistence and honesty and teamwork and supporting one another and, all of the wonderful things that they do anyways, but that I really wanted to reinforce as like values that they had. So I made that, and it was supposed to just be like Christmas presents for them and their cousins.
Yeah.
That were in the book. It was a very expensive Christmas present because I ended up like publishing it and then
so expensive.
Yeah. So it was an expensive Christmas present, but I got to give away a bunch of those, to family members and friends.
That's fun.
That was really fun. Yeah. So then
and heartfelt and creative. It's not often you get to check all of those boxes when you give people gifts.
It was a lot of fun. It was nice. And so, a couple of years later, I was thinking, well, we have some more, kids that are more prevalent in their lives that they've been playing with. And, people are like, well, you should put my kid in a book too, because that's a really cool book and I like it.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I can. So this is the second volume of this called The Rainbow Island that's coming out now. It just got done being like edited and finalized. So they're going to send me my first copy soon. And then they're going to send me a bunch of other copies to do promotional stuff with. So I'm
Amazing.
excited about that. But it's continuing their journey of, now they're meeting their friends like Mike's son and his grandkids. And they learn
And
kung fu
Aaron is
skills.
so smart
Yeah.
and so busy.
And that's in the book.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like
I love
the
that.
engineer for the island. He comes up with all sorts of machines and contraptions with, ropes and nets and pulley systems and things like that. He knows how to take everything apart, put it back together again. And I like being able to personalize these characters to like these real kids because they can see their talents and the things that make them unique being really showcased and celebrated.
But also using their
fun.
brain.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to watch that in person. Sometimes when you
Mhm.
get on a screen and you get into this game and we lose that
Mhm.
tactile creativity.
Mhm.
And I love that you're employing that in your everyday with your kids. I think it's so important. I was just talking to Lisa Bates, who is the executive director over at the Cape Cod Children's Museum.
Mhm.
And they're working on this maker space
Mm,
upstairs,
yeah.
and they're building this, and they're deeply in renovations. There's finally like great bathrooms and a
Mhm.
good changing area and all the stuff we've wanted for a really long time at the museum, and really adding some of that STEAM stuff, but also that maker creativity to physically do all of these projects is really exciting, because that's the best way you learn is by
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
and creativity, and having those spots is really amazing. But you're just, you're like, well, I'm not going to wait for a museum. I'm going to do this right now.
Right.
I'm going
And
to
I
get
am
it done.
excited about the museum. I get the emails and I've
Yeah.
been seeing all the progress that they're doing. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
'Cause I like going there.
And selfishly, I love that it's in Mashpee. It's
Mhm.
really exciting to see the growth of where we live. And I love that you said turtles, because if you
Mhm.
talk to any Wampanoag or Native American, that's what they call the Americas, is Turtle Island.
Mhm.
So it's a really nice tether to our community and what you're building. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And can I just say, if you have young kids and you need some time in your day to get some things done, take them to the Children's Museum in Mashpee, because that little cafe
Yeah.
is a perfect place to set up a laptop and drink some fake coffee and have like a working lunch made
I
of plastic food.
I love that.
I do that all the time.
Guys, you're losing weight as you're playing.
Yeah. I have like a little working
Have a lunch date with the kids.
Yeah. And they make me the food and they bring it in. I get on my laptop and I get some work done.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Send check emails. It's great. They have a
What's up?
little outlet right there.
Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us. That is amazing. And she's dropping up. Look
I
at
know,
Bree
my
with the
hype man.
links. Legitimately. Good morning, Miss Emily, fighting this cold. It's not on day 9. I heard whatever viral craziness that's going on right now is like a full month.
Ew.
Sorry.
I feel like I get sick at least once a month.
Because
with
we're around
kids.
people.
Well, I had kids like go to school and immediately lick all the doorknobs or
Yep.
something and then just come home and cough like
Mhm.
in your mouth.
Perfect. In your mouth hole. And now we have that.
Yep. Well, at least once a month. when they're in
Thousands
school.
of people we see during the week. I mean, we're out. We're doing games. We're out in person. I think we're at 10 different places this week alone and seeing hundreds of people, which is exciting and good and wonderful. But yeah, I'm spreading that all around. I feel like my immune system has grown like the Grinch's heart.
You just spritz people with sanitizer when you see them.
Literally what
Hi.
CCYP brought as their parting gifts was little sanitizer things. And my husband, of course, had his pockets full because that's the germaphobe freak he is.
That's perfect.
But now you've brought me this gift that is going to go on all of those things, which
There you go. I'm trying to bring more just fun and play and joy into all of my daily interactions.
not
And
just with children, but with adults.
with adults. I saw that online and I decided I needed it. So I have a big roll of stickers now.
Feel free to zoom in if you want to just see it for yourself before I tell you what in fact this sticker does say. I love this so much. It says for rectal use only, and I feel like I've got so many ideas that are just sparking my creativity.
They look so official. They look like they're from the doctor's office.
I said I'm going to put it on the soap dispenser when I get to
Yeah.
work at Cape Space. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've been handing them out like candy. Just everybody put these on everything.
This is a great adult gift. I appreciate it. It's just something
fun.
little.
Yeah.
that brings me so much joy.
Yeah. They're all over the house now. I gave some to my mom. She's been putting them on stuff. Yeah, no, it's good.
Joanna, you guys need emergency. Girl, I bought stock in the thing. I've got it everywhere. This is why I have so much energy right now. I told that cold, absolutely no, we're not having that. And it's gone.
Yeah.
So thank you. Get yourself some for rectal use only stickers. That an emergency. And honestly, you're going to have the best day you've ever had in a long time.
Vitamins are good.
Well, you just got true vitamin C being out in the sun. How was your trip with the kids?
Ooh, so amazing. I'd never been to Mexico.
Okay.
And again, I got my hype man, my BFF, Bree, to thank for that.
Awesome.
She's just such a catalyst for happiness and joy and wonderful things in my life. It's amazing. So I went to Mexico with the kids and Bree and her husband, and we had the best time.
I love it.
What struck me was just how good I felt every single day. Like, we could eat all the food in the world from the room service, the 24-hour room service.
Very nice.
Cheesecake at 2:00 in the morning a lot. And then like the buffet and all the restaurants they had there, and it was all inclusive. And I never once felt like bloated or full or lethargic or like, I don't know what wonderful ingredients they're putting in the foods down there.
The ones that they grow in the ground.
Yeah. It was really nice being able to like eat and not feel like the food's attacking me. And so that was really nice. But then I noticed I was constantly moving because it's a big resort, but you don't have a car. So it's like, it's small enough that you can walk from one end to the other pretty quickly, but you walk from your room to wherever you were going, and then you get in the pool for most of the day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my body's constantly moving, and my back didn't hurt because I'm in this weightless environment the whole time and splashing around and swimming around. And they have pool activities. They had like aqua aerobics. And
it's another lease on life when you get to go to another country and actually just experience that.
It was really, really nice. And the people there, like the staff was amazing. All the people that worked there were like the sweetest people who would remember you. And like out of hundreds of people that are there, they would remember you and remember stuff that you would talk to them about the day before or a couple of days before. They would remember what your drink order was.
And I'm glad you got to experience that with the kids. It's not often we get that separation.
Such a good time. Well, and they were so independent. That's what I like. It was really safe there. Like there was nowhere for them to get lost. So like
Chrissy said I should put one on Cliff's toothpaste.
Here you go. They're going everywhere.
He can't even see anything anymore anyway. His eyesight's going.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have to read things to him. When we go to other countries, he can't see anyway, but then throw another language into the mix.
Yeah.
Did you guys work on your Spanish at all?
Not a whole lot. I don't speak a lot of Spanish. My family, they all speak French. When it's like when kids start learning how to spell and you can't spell words out in front of them anymore, and you don't want them to know what you're talking about, my family just switches to French.
That's fun.
And then when you're like 18, you get to learn French.
I like that.
So silly. So it's more French stuff. And then I took Russian in college for no reason. I had to do a language requirement. And I was like, that seems cool. So I like the professors.
And what did you go to school for?
Philosophy.
Yep. This is where my daughter is right now. She's a sophomore at Salem State. She paid her own tuition. So if she wants to take philosophy and yoga classes, I say yes.
It was so good. The whole, my senior year was spent in seminars for neuroscience and neurophilosophy and neuropsychology, because that was like this big thing that people were starting to get into. And it had to do with criminal retribution and recidivism in jail and rehabilitation and how the brain works and to what degree is someone responsible for their actions. And so all this neuroscience stuff started happening, and that's when I really got attached to neuroscience, and that's stayed with me since then.
By the way, one of the biggest budding I guess college outputs they're telling us right now to send our kids to school for is philosophy. Why? Because we need to teach them robots how to think.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's the science of knowing what you're talking about, which is great for when I'm arguing with people. All my ex-boyfriends hate it. They're like, this is awful.
Hence X.
Because when I'm arguing with someone, it's almost like a lawyer. I have to thoroughly research what I'm talking about and exactly the
You're
right
come
words.
for me. I already know. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah. A lot of it is the words. I really love the etymology of words and studying language.
She's available.
So I have, I've got this thing where I really need to know and understand what I'm trying to say, because my brain is so full of thoughts and stuff. Like I need to be able to organize it to communicate exactly what I'm thinking, because there are so many ways that things get lost in translation and so many misunderstandings that could have been so easily avoided with like the proper communication.
Well, that's why you're putting it into your music and your books.
Right. It's a lot of writing. My songs are very wordy, I would say. You know, like there's some songs that people write and there's a lot of like la la la's in the middle and just noises, but I've got these epically long poems that I've had to translate into songs.
Fun. Well, I love it. I definitely suggest Bree dropped it in the chat. Allison Reid, your new album that's out. And we'll be able to catch you at a few different concerts in the next couple of weeks. You'll be able to see her in person and hear her sing beautifully on Saturday at the Mashpee Christmas Parade.
So we've got the 19th. We've got the album release party at the Wellness Center. And then I'm doing a Christmas concert with Frank on the 21st at 3 p.m. at the West Falmouth United Methodist Church.
Love it.
We just went there to fill in on Sunday because their organist was out of town. And so they needed some people to do the music, and it's the cutest church. It's the most Christmassy New England church that I've ever seen in my life.
This is one of my favorite things about this time of year, when everybody gets all the lights and the greenery, and it's just beautiful. So festive, right? You can't help but be in a better mood.
Right. I love Christmas and I love Christmas spirit.
Yeah, I agree.
One of my Christmas songs is about Christmas spirit and how kids have this like wonderful Christmas spirit.
I know. Well, I absolutely love it. And I definitely want to support you in your endeavors. You're balancing it. Mm-hmm. You've added the center as kind of like you're in person, because I feel like sometimes when you write and you're a creator, you get in your head a lot. Yeah. And interacting with humans sometimes gets a little clunky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, what I love about being at the center is that I would be there all day, every day if I could. And it's such a good place for my creativity. It's a really great space to be able to get my creative things done and my work stuff done. Like on Monday mornings, I teach breath work, balance, and flexibility class.
And that's a new one, right? And you can get, there's a drop-in rate.
Yep, $15 drop-in rate. And so we're it's stuff that I just developed myself over time. Like I had these different stretch routines I was doing. Mm-hmm. And so one of them is a flow of those stretch routines that sort of mimic like bird movements, but it's all right. Balance and dynamic tension, like pushing against your own body weight to get a really good workout without heavy weights or cardio. And I do a big breathing exercise that's intense.
Okay.
It's intense. It focuses on, you start like you inhale for 1 second, exhale for 2, inhale for 3, exhale for 4, inhale for 5, exhale for 6, and keep building
Seems
that
like
up.
A lot of counting. Are you counting for us?
I keep like a metronome going on YouTube, so it makes it a little easier.
It. If I've got a beat, I'm okay.
I use my fingers while I'm doing it, but so you build up it's like ab work and core work and then lung capacity. And the other day, for the first time, I made it to 29 seconds and 30 seconds. So that means it took me 1 minute to do one full breath. So I was inhaling for 29 seconds, exhaling for 30, and I almost felt like I was going to pass out.
I was going to say, I feel like I already do that. It's called anxiety.
Right. It's like one long, slow breath all the way. And it was one breath for 1 minute. And it was really, I was like, oh, I've never done that before.
I love it. Good morning, Miss Mari Eva. Yeah. Isn't Heather's picture beautiful? Oh yeah. I forgot to light the tree this morning. Okay, we're lit.
Beautiful.
The tree lighting in the studio. Good morning. And thank you for joining us on this late morning. Bree was talking about the swim up bar that you enjoyed also in Mexico. The kids would make
plans with other kids they made at the resort. And in the morning we'd have, breakfast, and then it'd be like, all right, we'll see you later. We made plans with our friends. We got to go meet up with them.
Oh, I love
and they'd go every day to the swim up bar and then get like little strawberry daiquiris and little frozen mango drinks.
I love that.
And sit at the swim up bar and swim around with little cups
Go play with your
drinks.
friends. See you later.
Great. It was amazing.
That's so fun.
They gained so much independence. Like, anytime they needed something, they didn't have to come to me and go, can I? And they just went and got it.
Well, because you were the safety of a closed resort, which is also nice.
They knew where to go. They knew what to do. They figured, they found their way around there pretty easily and, memorized the layout. So they had there was like a sports bar that had, air hockey and foosball, so they were in there all the time.
Perfect.
It was so good. It was so amazing.
I'm looking forward to spending a little time with my family. I know schedules just get chaotic this time of year, and events just kind of take over. It's what happens. And we're going away on the 20th. We're going to spend some time with my family, do a little like small road trip because we're flying south and seeing my girlfriend and seeing my mother-in-law and seeing my aunt and getting my family dose, but also being stuck with my immediate family proper. My daughter tried to run away with a boyfriend.
Oh.
And my husband was like, I want one more year. Just one. So she's acquiescing. It's nice.
Okay.
But
nice.
1 week with all of us is enough. It's enough.
It'll be fun. You can bring some stickers on the road.
Yeah, right.
If you need more, let me know.
I'm loving these. This is great. It wasn't me. That's all I'm saying.
The other thing while you're traveling, make sure you look up the Atlas Obscura.
Oh, yes.
Because that's mainly what I use for road trips and traveling. It'll show you the weirdest things to see in every state or any, area of a country that you're in.
Yep.
And you find all sorts of weird, cool stuff out there.
I did that with my son. We did a cross-country trip right during pandemic. And my girlfriend relocated to the West Coast and had tasked us with getting her vehicle there.
Okay.
And it was full of all of her crap. It was just me and him. We drove during the day. And I said every single place, he was doing Zoom school at this point. And I was like, well, what's the difference?
Yeah.
And we used the Atlas Obscura to find cool places once a day to stop at as we were crossing the country. And we found some weird stuff.
Yep.
Especially in the desert in the Arizona area. Some alien weirdness.
I love it out there.
It was so fun.
Yep.
But I definitely suggest if you've got little people to let them choose their adventure too. It's always fun to include them in the planning. I know it's difficult if you're a type A human. Allow it. It'll make them better people and you as well. I promise.
Yes.
I won't steer you wrong. How do people connect with you? Where are you finding most of your time being spent right now?
At the center.
Yeah.
Mostly at the center as much as possible. I go there Monday mornings for my class, and then Bree teaches a class. She teaches complete strength right after. So, of course, I have to stay for that because that's the best time ever.
You got to get strong.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting so jacked. I'm so excited.
Good for you. I need to take a moment and just listen to the things that I talk about sometimes and actually do them. I'm having a really hard time stepping out of the work environment right now. It's
easier with friends. Like I said,
I know.
Bree did the same thing. Make it so that your friends can schedule time to hang out with you while being productive and, getting work done.
Yeah.
So I get to go to her class, and then so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I usually get to leave my house. The rest of the time I'm around hanging out with my grandma.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So for a few hours at least, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get to leave. So then I go to like Rocky's Wednesday mornings.
Yep.
And
who does an amazing job with our unhoused population and is always allowing people to get showers, get themselves cleaned up. Like he's really a good human being. Yeah.
So much for the community. He's even got, they've got sober houses that he and his wife run, and just all the help that he gives people at the gym is incredible. He gives more than most people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really amazing to see the work that he does with people.
Hey, Miss Jen. She said, I love the late time. Good morning, sunshine. I know, right? Connecting whenever we can, wherever we can. I was like, oh, wait, Sam booked a time, but I got a thing in the morning. Let's push. And I'm sure you were glad to sleep in a little bit longer.
Well, sort of.
Or at least not have to function outside of your environment, maybe.
Yeah. Well, so I've been sleeping a couple of nights a week when my mom's helping out with my grandma because we switch with the overnights.
Yeah.
I'll stay at my boyfriend's house, which is in Mashpee, and then get up really early to drive home and then get the kids up.
That balance thing.
And then
it's hard.
Yeah. Then usually drive back to Mashpee. I go back and forth between Mashpee a lot. But I like it. I like the time in the car for me to get to, sing, listen to music, listen to fun podcasts, and just sort of be with myself for a little while. I think that's mostly the only really alone time that I get is when I'm driving in the car. So
yeah.
That's, I get up super early, get the kids on the bus. And then I was supposed to be working out with Bree at Rocky's because it's Wednesday, but we're going to.
Sorry, girls.
Do something later.
I know.
Thank you, Bree, for being so accommodating.
She is, though. It's really nice to have somebody that you can work out with, or your trainer that is also pretty flexible with
she's flexible
their space.
And she's flexible.
Right? All of the things. I'm going to be taking apart our storage facility today, getting ready for this parade. I've got a couple of, small snafus, but nothing crazy that I can't manage at this point in time. And I'm really kind of just looking forward to closing all of the work stuff for the year and focusing on my family a little bit and kind of just re-energizing. I'm like, I feel like I'm coming and going all of the time, and it's a blur.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just like enjoy my space for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this weekend is kind of the culmination of all of that. We've got the Mashpee stroll. Shout out to our friends over at the Black Dog, who are not only housing us for the parade broadcast, but they've also created this Mashpee strolls t-shirt. I know, cute little limited edition Black Dog t-shirt that everybody wants to have, a long sleeve Black Dog t-shirt that says Mashpee Stroll on it. I know you do. So you can add that to your collection of fun stuff. And then after the stroll, we've got the parade. After the parade, we've got the final Christmas market, and that is it for market season.
Oh, wow.
And the center has been really amazing about being part of everything that we've been doing on the field at the Village Green.
So fun.
I'm really thrilled to have you guys involved in it. And we're going to be bigger and better in 2026. What a season it's been. I just want to let you know that I had this meeting with an IT company that tracks people. And while it feels a little grimy, sometimes you like to have those data points to know where people are and what they're doing, right? And so our growth for the market, not even including the Christmas markets, has doubled from last year to this year.
That's so cool.
So I'm really, really excited to see what that's going to look like, because it is a place of joy. We've got wellness. We've got people with their feet in the ground taking part in things. There's music. There's bubbles. There's weirdos, and just
pony rides. There's
creators.
There's great food. And amazing stuff that people make. And that's half the fun of getting to, have a booth at a farmer's market, is getting to walk around and see all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Where everyone's like coming together. Like if we've got all these people from all these different places, and it would take, some days to go to each individual like store in each different part of a town or an area. But when everyone's coming together collectively, you get this huge, wide, eclectic range of goods and services and personalities
and people trying something new. The micro businesses that I've seen grow in this space has been really joyful for me in my Mashpee Chamber of Commerce hat, watching these small businesses find a space, find a niche, find a home where they can meet their customers where they're at without having to have that overhead of a big business. It's really hard. You know what it's like paying rent, then having to do that for your business as well. Like, it's stressful. And quite honestly, we don't have enough spaces in Mashpee for you to have a business brick and mortar.
Yeah. And kudos to the market people too. Like, I've done like the craft fair circuit for years with my art stuff. And it's so like hard having to, pack everything up.
Yep.
And then unpack it and set everything up, set up tents, set up your displays, make sure everything's, good in transit. And then, having to engage people and try and draw them in. And then at the end of the day, being out there on your feet and doing all that, engaging with people, then packing it all back up again and having to put it all back in your
and then
car.
reassess what worked, what didn't, what do I have to work on? How do I work on this? I should have done this. I could have done that.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work, and I give you so much credit, especially the people that took a chance on us this season and did the whole season. Like, that's a lot of time. It's 21 weeks for the regular season. It's 6 more weeks in the winter season. It's a lot of time that you've invested connecting with what could be an audience.
Yep. Yeah. It's really, really cool. And it is a lot of hard work. So I'm always, always really grateful for the people that do show up to farmers markets and the craft fair circuit, because I know how much work it is. And I know that it can be, kind of a gamble. You
throw wind, weather, and people into any mix, and you just never know what the hell you're going to end up with.
It's a lot of hard work and a lot of faith.
I love it. So Jen, thank you so much. Everybody's been loving your food, your butters, your creativity. Jenny's Affair is a E4All graduate business, and she does food for whatever it is, whether you're 2 people, whether you've got dietary restrictions, whether you're just busy people and you want a nice cooked meal and you don't have the bandwidth for it. This is where she meets you, wherever it is that you are in the food department.
Oh, that's so cool.
So she's, trying to find that right person, that customer segment of where you are and how I'm going to meet that. So she's done a really good job of adding that. Also, just another person that you might want to put in your space if you've got nutritional situations, or maybe you're like, I need to not put that in my mouth anymore. This is the amount of calories I need. Can you make this for me so I don't have to use my brain?
Come do something at the center.
Exactly.
Come do a class or a presentation or Yeah.
Jenny, I'm going to connect you with the center because I think nutrition is just, muscles are made in the kitchen and it's a great conversation to have.
We need internal wellness. We need external wellness.
Ugh,
Yeah.
so much work to be a human. Why can't we just put for rectal use stickers on everything and enjoy our lives?
We can. You can do both.
What's up, Allison? Thanks for joining us on the show. Hello, Miss Eleanor. You are always a breath of fresh air, and your costume choices are chef's kiss to amazingness. I'm always loving seeing what you put together in your creative space. We've got Sam with us, and Sam wears so many hats. What is the best way for people to contact you if they want to find out about your music or maybe your book?
Okay. Well, I was just actually joking the other day about how I have so many business cards,
right?
And I don't have just like a regular
Is there a link tree?
one. I need a link tree. Thank you for reminding me. Maybe I'll do that today. So on Facebook, we've got and Instagram, Allison Reid Band. And right now our profile picture is of our new album.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the chat. So please, screenshots.
Yeah.
I will send you them. I swear to God, Jen, I really will.
So yeah, the music stuff is there. And then mostly for everything else, I'll be at the center, Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings through the early afternoons. And I was just looking at my business cards. So I'm on the Falmouth Substance Use Commission. So I have a business card for that, but I can't give that to people when they want like wire wraps because that doesn't make any sense.
No. They're like, wait a minute. Why?
Right.
Is she telling me something?
Right. And then I've got a business card for Inspiration Celebrations, which is something I created through when I had my nonprofit. We do birthday parties because I love to build stuff out of cardboard. We can do custom theme, birthday parties, graduation parties, end of summer parties, holiday parties, whatever it is. And it comes with all the decorations, the gift bags and the party favors, the setup, the cleanup, 2 people that come and, wrangle all the kids or the participants. And we do, different types of activities. It can be, an arts and crafts activity, a piñata. I can make like little themed costumes that I've done, every now and then. Like if it's a dinosaur party, all the kids can get dinosaur tails, and things like that, masks, what have you. And then after our, costs, and like, paying our employees, the rest of the money goes to our nonprofit, which is now Root and Rise.
Yeah.
Through the Family Kung Fu and Wellness Center that helps drive all of our recovery stuff.
Yep.
So they're parties with a purpose.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Yeah. And it's, we put a lot of like just fun little details and elements that, you don't get through just like a basic party package, like I'm all for not having to, clean up and have to drive things places. And I love it when my kid's like, I really just want to go to like 10 Pin for my birthday party. And I'm like, you got it.
Perfect.
Now I don't have to clean out Dollar Tree
Yeah.
for all of their stuff. And
what do you mean you don't want all my glitter? Fine, I'll put it away. It's fine.
Well, like we did like a Lion King birthday party at my house, and I got all these green like leaf Dollar Tree tablecloths, and I hung them all from the ceiling to make walls around the rooms, so it looked like you were in the jungle.
Who's out there burnt out mama? Because that's what I'm hearing. I feel like I went through this huge phase of like a decade of it with 5 kids, always trying to create the bigger, better arts and crafty. Like, what can my brain do? Oh, we'll have a live amphibian show in the garage, and I'll make a Sanjay and Craig cake that I made from scratch. Like, and I just look back and I'm like, what? Why?
I think for me, it's I know that they're not gonna be this little.
I know
forever. So they're going to grow out of it. And they're going to be like, no, I don't want you to build a giant cardboard
Now
structure.
I have bedroom kids.
Right.
We used to have living room kids, and now I've got bedroom kids because they're all grown up and they're doing their own thing. And you're right.
So while I have it,
make the crazy walls.
Attention, it's like they've already grown out of letting me dress them up in like ridiculous little outfits.
Yeah.
Which is a huge bummer because dressing them up like little animals and like little elves and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And that now they're like, please don't. And they're getting that sort of like cringy, like, oh God. So,
yeah, when you become cringe as a parent, that's sad. It's a sad day when you're not the coolest one in the room anymore.
I can still match with them. I like that. Like, I buy us like matching outfits, like family outfits online where we'll get like all matching pajamas or like all matching outfits.
Yeah.
And so they're still like okay with that at least. But yeah, so while I have them this little, I like to build the big crazy structures. Even like for Aaron's birthday, he wanted a video game birthday.
Yeah.
And we held it at the Family Kung Fu and Wellness Center. I took cardboard and I turned the whole front of the building into a giant television set.
So fun.
And it was an old school television with like, the panel on the
That's
side with
it.
the knobs. That was the door.
Little
so
antenna.
You'd open the panel with the knobs on it, and that was the
Fun.
door you walk into the television for the video game birthday, where we set up, of course, an obstacle course that was themed like Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario Brothers, and to go through. And yeah.
If you don't even want to know what's going on up in there, Kathy, her books, I think Bree dropped it in the chat over on one of the things where you can connect with Sam. But I definitely suggest you do so. If you've got a writer's block or any sort of creativity snafu, I'm sure she can point you in the right direction. But I'm looking forward to seeing you sing in the parade. I'm looking forward to connecting with you with your fabulous creativity with your albums and listening to what Allison Reid does next, because I love the tunes that you and Frank are connecting.
We're already working on the next one. The next album's going to be, it's called For Old Time's Sake. And it's all the songs that I've written that sound like more old-timey. Like all these songs have a certain feel to them on this album, but For Old Time's Sake, it's all stuff that sounds like Frank Sinatra or like Etta James. And I'll throw a couple of old covers on there too, because for some reason, songs from like the 50s are perfect for my vocal range, and they're just so easy for me to sing, and they feel so good. So I wanted to do some of that. But yeah, if anyone needs any ideas, or you're creatively stuck, I have several empires.
We've got this
for you to run. They're $1 million ideas.
Like, here you go. Here you go.
Take them.
Just remember us when it comes time to when you pick up your paycheck, make a donation in one of our nonprofits, whatever ones we're working on at this moment in time. You've stepped away from the nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard for you.
It was so hard. It was, it's something that I had created, not just with myself, but with my friend Tiffany, helped me really get all this stuff started. And the outreach started when I was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a long time coming. It was, being at parties in East Falmouth and having a kid walk in the middle of the night with a garbage bag full of all of his stuff and being like, I am homeless, or I just got out of jail. And so I'd call my mom in the middle of the night and be like, how do you get health insurance? And she'd be like, here's the phone number. I'd be like, how do you get a birth certificate? And she'd be like, here's the phone number. And, she'd give kids rides for their license, like road tests in her car, because it had like the e-brake. So we just got known as the people who know a guy.
Yeah,
like
right.
My family's been here so long, like on both my mom and my dad's side of the families, that just everyone knows a guy who knows a guy who's got like a cousin who can like fix a problem. So
Human resources department is right here if you need.
Right. So we help people navigate all of it's overwhelming when you're like, I need help, but I don't know where to start looking.
Well, that's it. You feel destitute and you're really consumed by your feelings at that point in time when you don't know how to even do
basics. A lot of places will hand you some phone numbers and say good luck, but that's, even just trying to fill out mountains of paperwork for applications is a lot. So we'd help people with that. And then in 2018, when we got 501c3 certified, it really helped us, hone in on that community outreach. And,
you were housing people, clothing people, feeding people, filling out paperwork, or just standing there holding their hand while they filled out paperwork, or taking people to the hospital. It was like a whole wellness.
Yeah. And it was nice. We didn't duplicate any services. That was like, it's if somebody out there is doing it, if there's an organization or a nonprofit or
go
whatever,
there.
we would tell them to go there, but we'd also
love you, but go there. I'll drive you.
Ride there and help them fill out the application there, and then help them keep their appointments there.
Yeah.
And make sure that they, could stick with it and get the help that they needed. But if there was nothing, like if you just made 12 cents too much in your paycheck and you don't qualify for whatever the need is, which happens so often.
Yeah.
Or, you just I got tired of hearing people getting told no and starting to lose hope. And I'm like, with 8 billion people on the planet, the fact that you could feel lonely and alone is crazy. So we said no more. And the Cape is so small. So we used our volunteers and our networks and our resources to fix whatever the problem was that somebody else, couldn't do. If we looked everywhere exhaustively and there were no resources out there that covered your specific problem, I was like, I'm just going to do it myself, because I got so
we're the doers
and overwhelmed. I was like, I just got to do it myself, because otherwise it's going to keep me up at night and it's going to distract all of my time and energy. So I got some help, and, I got some people involved that could help me get things done for people. And that was great. But then, like just taking care of my grandma, she's got Alzheimer's. She's 94 now.
which is
very
incredible. I
cool.
mean, that's
Very cool.
incredible that you
Yeah.
get to still have moments
Mhm.
with her that
Yeah.
are lucid, regular, and your kids
Yeah.
also do.
Yeah.
So that's
She and
nice.
I have a TikTok and we have a YouTube.
I love it.
It's called Sam and Graham. And it's just, it started when a couple years ago she used to tell people stories. I think it was some of it was just her personality, but some of it was the Alzheimer's. She'd repeat stories to everybody all the time about her childhood and her family and her travel. She traveled all over the world with my grandfather, who was a scientist that just they got to go all over the place. And
But
so
100 years of knowledge is
yeah,
not something you want to quiet either. You're
right.
like, keep on
She
keeping.
had books and memorized and poems memorized and all sorts of cool stories, but she'd started to forget some of like the names of people and the dates. And when I bring up certain stories, she'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I started thinking, well, maybe I should videotape conversations with her. Just if she's gonna, continue to be forgetting these things, I don't think
Yeah.
they're coming back. So it was nice, I'd sit down and I'd say, I need some advice from you because she's hilarious too. Like she's just a total goofball. And she's gotten more ridiculous and hilarious as it's progressed. It's like having another kid around the house most of the time, which is lovely. And so yeah, but like she plays the piano. She thinks she doesn't know how to play the piano, but she does. Don't listen to her.
Okay.
She's lying. And she wrote songs for all the kids. That's one of the songs on my album is the lullaby that she wrote me when I was a baby. And so it's some stuff like that. Like if I sing with her, I could sing that song and she'll remember all the words all of a sudden.
So
And
maybe
she'll be
that's your
right
love
back.
of the 50s music is from
Yeah,
her.
yeah, definitely. She loved singing and her mother was a singer. And so music's been a big part of our time together. But I've got all these videos now of us talking and interacting and hanging out. And,
Yeah.
they're not all completely silly videos. Some of them are a little more serious. Sometimes she's just having a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I'll ask her for advice and she'll just be like, I don't know. I don't
Well,
know
you know
anything.
what? There's something to do that connection with music, dementia, Alzheimer's that brings them back. It's really wild when we used to do when the older folks or the more long-term care facilities that we would do music bingo in and to watch the awakening happen in someone's brain when they heard a specific song.
It's the other side of your brain.
Yeah.
It's why it works as a rehab for stroke victims also.
It's wild to watch
Yeah.
in person when that happens, and it's really kind of magic.
Yeah, it's really great. And it's like with stroke victims when you can't find the words to say something, your other side of your brain will be able to sing the words instead. And
What
so
a
it's
what a
singing
machine.
therapy. Yeah.
I love that you're sharing that with everybody on TikTok and Insta and
Yep.
Sam and Graham. I definitely
Sam and
suggest you take in an episode and check it out because it's pretty incredible. And I think that it's great that you've taken all of the stuff that you've learned from your own nonprofit and you're working it into Roots and Rise and working it into the center's magic that you're creating collectively with so many great humans.
Yeah. And it was hard, like just not being able to be, full on with the nonprofit stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Because, I was focusing more on taking care of her. Like she couldn't be left alone anymore.
Yeah.
She couldn't cook. She had, you have to go to the bathroom with her. She can't go by herself. So that was hard not being able to, because I was so used to for, the whole time that I was doing that since 2018, just being there full time.
Yeah.
Having a business cell phone that was on 24 hours a day for crisis emergencies. And doing all the organizing, making all the flyers and setting up all the events. And we had like a thrift store going and keeping that stocked and organized and doing all the outreach stuff and making all the phone calls.
There's never boredom if you're around Sam. You're not bored ever.
Right.
I'm letting you know.
It was hard to have that shift of like just not doing like
you're a caregiver now.
Your body gets in this like rhythm where like you're always, it's like in you. So then, I talked to my board. Mike was on my board. And I was like, we can just go back to being like helpful people. Like we don't have to have the whole
doesn't have to be official or anything. Yeah.
Right. Like we've always been helpful people.
Yeah.
Like my family's always been helpers. My grandma was always, moving people into the house and renting them rooms for next to nothing because they needed help. And she just, connected with them on many different levels and just wanted to help people and be there for people and feed them and take care of them. And, Mike's the same way. His house is basically the same that I grew up in, where he's always taken people in
Yep.
and helped them and clothed them and fed them.
Same here.
Right. Exactly. Like we can
This
just
house has been
be
42 sort of boarding facilities
Yeah.
the time in which we've been the stewards of this space.
Right. So I proposed it to the board that we just go back to being helpful people. But
Yeah.
Mike said, no, he's like, I think we should keep it going. He's like, I say, you can
All right.
take it over if you want to. I just, I have to step back for a while and focus on doing stuff at
Well,
home.
yeah, you're
and being at home.
caregiving.
Yeah. So, and which is, it's great and it's difficult at the same time.
Yeah.
There's as much fun as we have, with her childlike sense of wonder and humor. It's, it gets frustrating thinking about how you spend 94 years like intentionally creating memories and experiences and traveling all over the world and she created art programs.
Yeah.
And she ran organizations in Boston for kids with disabilities, and she created festivals, and she did all this grant writing and, just on top of everything else. And then you work so hard for that to forget it all.
Yeah, but she did it. There's a
Right.
season for everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things like you did it and now you know it
Right.
and you'll tell more people about it and it will live that way.
It's one of those things like she's not upset about it, but like
She don't know.
I get, like, I don't know, just in my feelings sometimes about how like she did all of these amazing things. And it's like, I want her to hold on to that. I want her to have it so badly,
Yeah.
but
it's like childhood. It's not forever. And it's one
Right.
of those things that you cherish and you jump in and you celebrate it when you can.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a growing experience for me too, getting to be there with her.
Deepening
all the
that
time.
feeling well.
Yeah, right. Just, having to learn that I have to let go of certain things and that I have to accept that certain parts of life are the way they are and you can't change them or do anything about it. You can just be there in the moment to appreciate them for what they are. And you don't want to. But so it's I like that Mike kept the nonprofit going. We've changed it to Root and Rise. It's got more of a focus on recovery support. And I think that's really important too. This, our community was so ravaged by like the opioid epidemic.
Yeah.
And everybody knows somebody here who's been affected by it in some way or another. And, for a lot of people, that's like a really personal, close to home thing. And now that there are more resources coming out to help support those families and support those people, people who have lost loved ones or people who are in recovery or people who are wanting to get into recovery and like curious about it or on their 25th time trying to be in recovery, just whatever it is. There's a lot more support now and a lot more like money out there and grants and things like that. So we thought that this idea of like Root and Rise like would really be beneficial to the community because it's still doing what we were doing before. It's still catching the people who fall between the cracks. It's still supporting people when they can't find support elsewhere and helping connect people with support that we do know about or that we can find for them. So that's nice. And
but you're offering programming in a space and it's really the thing that's going to drive, that's making incremental changes.
And we're making it free.
Yeah. And I mean, that is a part of it, but also they're invested in it and they're going to do it for somebody else when it makes a difference.
We're trying to just eliminate all those barriers to that wellness. Like we've got our transportation initiative. So if people need to come to our classes, you can get a ride there and back home for free because we've now got help from Mashpee substance use.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's a great task force. And I don't want to use the word task force. Like it sounds a little bit scary, but it is a group of humans. Mashpee Fire is calling me right now because we got a parade to plan. But it's a wonderful coalition of humans that are all in it for the right reasons.
Yep. So that's nice. And we've got, Mike's got the recovery-based martial arts classes, teaching people about, how martial arts and kung fu is,
discipline.
It's the oldest recovery program there is. He keeps telling people that it's doing something over and over to reinforce, discipline. But it's also when you get to a new level through that dedication of like doing something that you weren't physically able to do before or mentally able to do before, it opens up these neural pathways in your brain where you can now say, well, I bet there's other stuff that I could do that I never thought was possible, like staying sober forever or, like taking my recovery to that next level. It's that it opens up that neural pathway in your brain to create a new network of synapses where now you can start believing you can achieve other things that you previously thought were impossible. And so our new classes that are starting in January are supplementary to the recovery-based martial arts program, where we're going a little bit deeper into some of the neuroscience and getting to bring that into it, with just why qigong breathing is good for your nervous system and good for your body, and explaining to people that there's actually research that's been done that's proving all of the things that Mike's been telling people for 30 years.
Well, sometimes it takes people a long time to come around to an idea that's been since birth.
Right.
Right. We are people. We always think we've got a better way, but sometimes just the OG plans work. Shocker.
Right. So it's nice. We're going to do some workshops on like basic human needs.
Nice.
And, exploring needs that are prevalent in your life, or how to make space through small changes to accommodate those needs, or, make them more prevalent in your life. And we're going to do all sorts of fun emotional work that's also going to be, not right. Well, that's the thing, not. So I've got like the workshop that we're doing with the basic human needs in January started with recycle art, like everything in my
Excellent.
life. Everything is kung fu for Mike. Everything's recycle art for me. So we put them together.
Hey, I love them both. And you can find them at the Mashpee Farmers Market coming back again in May. We've got our final Christmas market, which is happening this weekend. You can see Sam in the parade. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
And connect over at the Kung Fu and Wellness Center. It really is just an amazing space for all of the things that you're working on,
right.
whatever it is.
We've got our calendar on Facebook. We've got our calendar on our website, thecentermashpee.com. But really just walk in the doors, and our classes are so
the hardest part sometimes.
I know, but it's like our classes are so inviting and welcoming. Like you can walk in the middle of a class and you're not interrupting anything.
Let's go.
Excited to see you.
Well, we're happy to see you too. Allison Reid album is out right now. Make sure you grab that, and I'll be looking forward to your release party. Thank you, everybody, and we'll talk tomorrow morning live from Mashpee TV. I got to go call the fire chief back before I don't have any lights. Thanks for playing with us this morning. We'll talk soon. Sam, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.